Imagine you have never seen a mirror. You have never seen a photograph. You have never seen a copy of anything that was once alive. And then, one day, a woman in your group gives birth, and there are two of them. Same face, same eyes, same cry. You have no word for what you are looking at, no framework, no explanation. What do you do? That moment changed the course of human history in ways that almost nobody talks about. And by the end of this video, you will never look at twins the same way again. Ancient humans had no concept of biological copying. Everything alive was singular. One wolf, one tree, one person. Identity was tied completely to the individual body. This face, this voice, this smell. Which means when the first pair of twins was born, their brain had absolutely nothing to compare it to. No reference, no category, no explanation. Just two identical faces staring back at them from a world that had never produced two identical faces before. When the ancient brain encountered something it genuinely could not explain, it did not shut down. It invented. Researchers studying early belief systems across unconnected ancient cultures found something that should be impossible: the twin myth appearing on every continent in societies that never had contact with each other. And almost all of them share the same core idea. Twins were not two people. They were one person, split. An ancient human looks at two identical faces and concludes, something was divided that should not have been divided. One soul, two bodies. This is not primitive thinking. It is actually a remarkably logical conclusion for a mind that had never encountered duplication before. The question was, which half was real? And that question terrified people for thousands of years. In dozens of ancient cultures independently, twins were not celebrated. They were feared. The twin that arrived second was often considered the dangerous one. Because in a world where one person equals one soul, the second arrival had no soul left to claim. It had arrived after the soul was already taken, which meant it was something else, something that wore a human face, but wasn't. And here is the question no researcher has been able to fully answer. How did ancient humans figure out which twin was which? In a world with no writing, no records, no photographs, if the twins were separated even briefly, there was no way to know. That uncertainty fed directly into one of the oldest and most universal human fears: the doppelganger. The thing that looks exactly like someone you love but is not them. That fear did not come from nowhere. But here is the twist. Some cultures did not fear twins. They worshipped them. The Yoruba people of West Africa developed one of the most sophisticated twin belief systems in human history. Twins believed to carry supernatural protective power precisely because they existed in two bodies simultaneously. In ancient Greece, Castor and Pollux were the patron gods of sailors. Across Mesoamerica, twin deities appear in creation myths as the force that built the world itself. The same phenomenon. Completely opposite meanings. So why did some cultures fear twins and others worship them? Researchers believe the difference came down to one thing: resources. In environments of scarcity, twins represented a problem the group might not survive. In environments of stability, twins represented something miraculous. The same biological event. Completely opposite meanings, which tells us something uncomfortable about how humans assign meaning to things. We don't see the world and then react to it. We decide what we can afford, and then we see accordingly. Somewhere, 40,000 years ago, a person looked at two identical faces for the very first time. They had no word for it, no story, no framework, just the raw experience of the world breaking its own rules. And in that moment, they could not let it just be two babies. It had to be a sign, a split, a miracle, a warning. We still do this. Every time the world shows us something we cannot explain, we reach for meaning before we reach for understanding. That reflex is 40,000 years old, and it has never gone away.